Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ottavia and happy autumn. So yes, we are finally in autumn and I am so excited to have a little bit of a change of temperature, colors as well outside. Well, of course I don't want to be really too cold, but if you want autumn, has to be cold a little bit more than the summer. But I'm really happy that we actually dive into a different season, which means that I have some books that I would like to read for the month of the autumn season, let's say. I'm not sure if I will this year, but I just want to show you what I think are the autumn reads. So autumn reads for me are cozy fantasy or cozy anything, to be honest. Anything about witches, anything about a little bit of mystery and murder, and a little bit spooky, right? So I don't do horror, I don't do thriller. It's really difficult for me to read books like this. I've done it, okay? I've read some books like that, one or two maybe, not as many. But I picked up some of his books that maybe are not to my cup of tea, that it might be great for me, but I don't know, but we'll see anyway. Also, I have a proper mug to basically start this video. So I have 11 books to show you and I divided it in 3 categories. The one is like mystery, vibey kind of thing. The second one is more about witches, a little bit of folklore, retelling. And the third one is basically a cozy one, cozy with books. There you go. So grab a cup of tea or a pumpkin spice latte or whatever you drink, and I'm gonna show you now each and every one of them. So let's start with the spooky one, or a little bit of mystery, a little bit of things happening in there. So the first one is The 13th Tale by Diana Setterfield. This one is a multi-layered mystery with twists and turns, and there's also a little bit of magic. So for what I understood from the premises, because I bought this one but I haven't read it yet, of course, is that Angerfield House stands abandoned and forgotten. It was once the imposing home of a March family, fascinating, manipulative Isabel, Charlie, a brutal and dangerous brother, and the wild, untamed twins Emmeline and Adeline. But Angerfield House conceals a chilling secret whose impact still resonates. Now Margaret Leah is investigating Angerfield's past, and the mystery of the March family starts to unravel. What has the house been hiding? What is the connection with enigmatic author Vida Winter? And what is it in Margaret's own troubled past that causes her to fall so powerfully under Angerfield's spells? So I'm quite interested in this one. I haven't read it. I haven't heard anyone talking about this book, but this one is kind of like how I feel. By the way, of course, all the books that I'm showing you now, it's basically how I feel that our autumn feels. It might not be for you might be something else, but for me, this one's the one for fall or autumn. We call it in England, but fall in America. But yeah, this is all what I think anyway. The next one is Dead Water by C.A. Fletcher. This is an interesting book. What's happening in this place is like it's a rural area, so we are in a remote Scottish island. The residents are basically a mix of island-born and newcomers. They are seeking a slower life away from the modern world. And all have their own secrets, some much darker than others. Rumors claim the blight may be a case of mass hysteria or even a loud curse. But when the ferry service fails and phone towers go down, unease grows into the nightmarish ordeal as the harmonious fabric of the community is irreversibly torn apart. So this one is like they're saying is that atmospheric suspenseful tale of folk horror and isolation within a small island community from the author that also did A Boy with His Dog at the End of the World. Yes, I did say that I don't like horror, but it's quite interesting and I just want to see how it is. If I don't like it, that's fine, but at least I have something. It's quite a thick, chunky book, but I'm really excited anyway, because why not, right? Next one is The House at Watch Hill by Karen Mary Moaning. This is a book that I thought that it was a little bit similar to another one that I now don't remember the name. I might put it somewhere here if I remember which one it is. She basically, her mother died, and basically there's an inheritance that she can get. The only thing is that she needs to get to the Watch Hill house, and she needs to live there or live in this place for 3 years alone to get the inheritance. But once this person or the character delves deeper in the mansion mysteries, she encounters some weird things. So there's lots of things that are happening that is connected to the house. And I love the cover, first of all. I think it's really beautiful and enticing and really interesting. And I'm really interested to read this book. I haven't heard anyone talking about this book, but hopefully I will like it too. It sounds really entertaining, so that's what I want. So hopefully that will be one that I'm gonna read, this few months. And the last one for the murder kind of mystery thing is by Tom Hindle, Murder on Lake Garda. Yes, Lake Garda, you would think, oh, it might be summery, but because it's a murder, I can identify more as an autumn feel. I actually don't, well, I wasn't born near Lake Garda because I'm Italian, but I went a few times there, and it's a nice area anyway. The premise is something happened at Lake Garda. Someone got murdered. I don't want to know too much about it. I know that Tom Hindle is really a well-loved author for murder mysteries. I haven't read anything from him. I just picked up the book because it says Lake Garda, because I'm Italian. That's why I wanted to see how it's going to be depicted, like an Italian area in here, which is basically Lake Garda. So we will see, but I'm really excited for this one too. Okay, now we're going to the next one, which is basically a little bit folklore, a little bit witchy. So I have 3 books for you. The first one is The Lighthouse Witches by C.J. Cook. This says 3 daughters, a secluded island, and secret unearthed. So it says, upon a cliffs of remote Scottish island, so we have a theme, because we have already in the dead water about the Scottish island, so we're back in Scotland. We love Scotland. There's a lighthouse. Strange and terrible events have happened here. It started with a witch hunt. Now, century later, Islanders are vanishing. Liv Stay and her children don't believe in witches or curses, but within months of arriving on the island, her daughter Luna is the only one of them left. 20 years later, Luna's missing sister turns up out of the blue. She's exactly the girl Luna remembers. Same face, same smile, same age. Faced with impossible, it's up to Luna to find out what really happened at a lighthouse all those years ago. Sounds really interesting. Next one is a retelling of Sleeping Beauty, and it's called Spellbound by Georgia Layton. And I think in this story, the protagonist never goes to sleep. In a remote castle perched atop Winspet Island, a long-awaited royal heir is born. In accordance with ancient custom, a blessing ceremony takes place to bestow the princess with magical gifts, along with a terrible curse. Except this is not the love story you may think you know. There is no enchanted sleep for the princess and no handsome prince to save the day. Just 3 women who together concoct a desperate plan of misdirect that changes the course of all their lives. But dark magic cannot be tricked, and as the end of the curse edges closer, each of the women has a choice to make. They can wait to find out if the worst will happen, or they can turn to face the coming storm. So I feel like this one doesn't scream much of autumn, if you think of that, but I think it might be. Also, yes, I have a sign. I have this like beautiful copy. It's white inside. I thought it was going to be a little bit better, but it's only white. But yeah, I think this will be quite nice, atmospheric for that. And see what happened. I haven't heard many people talking about this book. This book came out this year. I don't know if it's going to be a series. Hopefully just going to be one book, and we'll see, but I'm really excited to read this one too. And the last one in this segment is A Song of the Huntress by Lucy Holland. Does it scream autumn for you? Maybe not. But for me, gives me that vibes, right? So here we are. A warrior queen, a damn immortal, and a curse that must be broken. Britain, 60 AD. Hoping to save her lover and her land from a romance, Herla makes a desperate pact with the Otherworld King. She becomes Lord of the Hunt. For centuries she rides, reaping wanderers' souls, until the night she meets a woman on a bloody battlefield, a Saxon queen with ice blue eyes. Queen Ethelberg or Wessex is a proven fighter, but after a battlefield defeat, she finds her husband caught turning against her. Yet King In, I hope I pronounced it correctly, needs Ethel more than ever. The dead kings of Wessex are waking, and In must his bloodline ancient magic if they are to survive. Something dark and dangerous is at work in the Wessex court, and she and Ethel grow closer. Herla must find humanity and a way to break the curse before it's too late. And I always like a little bit of folklore vibe, and I'm quite interested in reading this one. I have it for a while. I haven't heard many people talking about this book in particular, but I've heard about Lucy Holland, and they say that it's quite nice. So we will see how it is also this, but I am really excited to read in this one. Of course, every single book that I'm showing you I want to read, and I'm excited to, but you know, I can't read this many books like at a time. I wish I could, but I can't. I can't do that. And now we are in the last segment, which is like cozy reads, all about books and cozy feelings, right? So the first one, which I read already in a month of September, which this video is coming out, so spoiler alerts, it's going to be in my wrap up, and is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. And I really enjoyed it, this one. I'm going to talk about more about this later in my September wrap up, but it's basically about this girl that she's been given this cafe from her grandmother. Grandmother decided to take a little bit of like holiday somewhere else, and she thinks that this girl called Jenny, sorry, Laurie is the actual author, that Jenny needs to change a little bit her lifestyle since she was working in Boston for someone important, and then this person really died for stress and things like this. So she's like, okay, I need to change. So she starts, working in this cafe as the owner. And we have this guy that its name is Logan. He has basically a farm, but he feels drawn to her and vice versa, but he doesn't want to commit because of a heartbreaking story that he had before. It was really cozy. That's what you want for autumn. And this will actually check the spot for me, and hopefully I might read other books from this series, but this one is what I needed to start this autumn, let's say, season journey read thingy. But yeah, I read this one and I really enjoyed it. I heard that people didn't like this book, or there's a little bit of hate towards this book, but to be honest, it's not the best book ever, but it gives you what you want, like a cozy autumn book. And there you go. So that was fun. Next one, staying with the cafe theme, is The Full Moon Coffee Shop by Mai Mochizuki. I hope I said it correctly. And I love cats, and what I understood is that there's a Kyoto coffee that under glittering full moon appears only where and when it's needed. It's run by talking cats serving delicious desserts and age-old astrological wisdom. This coffee shop attracts customers who have lost their way in life, from a failed video game developer to a romantically challenged TV director. In the middle of the night, the feline guides will set everyone on their destined path. And it's such a small book, so I really hope I could actually read it, especially when I need something a little bit less heavy during my reads, because I like to read like my 500 or 600 page fantasy sometimes. So it's nice to have something like this. And I love cats, like I said. I don't have a cat, unfortunately. I really want to, but I can't. So hopefully in the future I will. But yeah, this is another one. Now we have the last two. So we have The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. And why I identify this one as an autumn read is because it's about books, or a book that opened doors to, I think, different dimensions. Cassie is about to discover that The Book of Doors is a special book. She's a bookseller that is sharing an apartment with her best friend Izzy. She feels something that is missing from her life. And her favorite customer gives her an old book, and which is exactly a magic book. A book that bestows extraordinary abilities on whoever possesses it. Soon she will learn that there are other magic books out there that can only be wondrous or dreadful and terrifying things. Suddenly, Cassie and Izzy are confronted by violence and danger. The only person who can help them is Dragon Fox, a man fleeing his own demons, but who has a secret library of magical books hidden in the shadows for safekeeping, because there is someone out there, nameless and evil, who is haunting them all. So I think that's why I like it, and I think that it's about like autumn in a way. I heard that people likes it or dislike it, so it's a little bit like a 50-50 situation, but I would like to be the judge and see which direction I will be in. So the last book that I have here is by Eva Reed, A Stout in Drowning. Yes, I haven't read this book yet. Yes, it was on my TBR a couple of months ago and I didn't read it. Hopefully I can read it next. It's I'll tell you what it's about. Effie has always believed in fairy tale. She had no choice. Since childhood, she's been haunted by vision of a fairy king. She's found solace only in the pages of Angarad, Emery's beloved epic about a mortal girl who falls in love with a fairy king and then destroys him. Effie's tattered copy is all that's keeping her afloat through her stifling first term at her prestigious architecture college. So when the late author's family announces a contract to design this house, Effie feels certain this is her destiny. But this manor is an impossible task. A musty, decrepit estate on the brink of crumbling to a hungry sea. And when Effie arrives, she finds she isn't the only one who's made a temporary home there. But there's another guy called Preston, a stodgy young literature scholar that is studying Midrin's papers and is determined to prove a favorite author is a fraud. As the two rival students investigate the reclusive author's legacy, they discover that their house's foundation isn't the only thing that can't be trusted. There are dark forces, both mortal and magical, conspiring against them, and the truth may bring them both to ruin. And I'm excited to read this one. I hope I really like it. I think from what I've heard, I would enjoy a lot her writing style. There's other books from her that I'm really excited to read, but I wanted to read this one first to see how it was, the full gist I'll ever read. She's a well-loved author, so hopefully I read this one soon. And yeah, these are all the books that I think they give me autumn fall vibes and that I'm really excited to read, hopefully for this like few months. Other than, of course, I read already one, but all the other ones no, so hopefully I will. But I'm really excited because they're quite different from the usual books that I read, except maybe the Eva Reed one, A Study in Drowning, but if not, or maybe actually The Song of the Huntress and Spellbound, which is something that I would read and adore the Book of Doors, but everything else is not really my cup of tea. But yeah, I'm really excited. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please let me know the books that you think are autumn vibes that you would like to read. Just put it in a comment below. Or if you read any of the books that I showed, please just express your feelings. What did you like or didn't like about them? And yeah, I'll now go and see you in my next video. Bye, ciao.